Hello, it's Lem from Sofia, Bulgaria. It's a sunny and beautiful day. I'm here near the Vasil Stadium, where we have, I believe, the second largest, or at least the oldest park of the city, Borisova Gradina. It was, if I recall correctly, designed and built around 1870 by a French architect. The park has a lot of statues. I haven't reached them yet. By the edge of the park now. Statues of Bulgarian heroes, writers, poets, and others who had their influence on the society. Many historical figures who I like to read more about. Sometimes I Google the names, read what they did for the country. Right now it's February, but it's a beautiful day. And a lot of people in the city because it's a Saturday. It's good to be outside, good to be alive. And I wanted to talk to you a little about cabin fever, which is likely to happen at some point if you live alone. Often you are constrained in, for example, one apartment, one room you rent, whatever. You basically go from box to box. You go to the office, go to the gym, sit in your car, sit in your apartment, go to sleep, take a shower. Basically you're always in a confined space unless you get out. And especially if you're alone or if you're an expat, you're really prone to have this happen to you at some point, that you start feeling an itch that something doesn't feel right, because we as human beings are not supposed to be in such small spaces all day long. We need to be out there, find challenges, conquer them, live life, and do something new each day. So when you're an expat, you might be alone at times, or especially when you're in the office surrounded with people who have families and other priorities than you, basically, or hanging out with others around them. You might find yourself alone, and that's especially hard if you're in a foreign country where you don't really have a social network outside of your office. So you might need to work on that, and even if you don't, or you still find yourself alone, you're going to need to get out there, especially on the weekends, because the weekends can feel suffocating at some points if you're alone for a long time. Let's say you don't talk to a lot of people, or you're in the apartment watching series, videos, and you think, what should I do with my weekend? I feel a bit alone. Maybe I should go back to my home country, to my family, because what would I do here if I'm alone? I can work back in my country, and I don't see what I should do here. This is lonely. I don't have anyone around me. Especially if you have the walls around you, you look at the ceiling, you look at the TV, you feel so stuck. And sometimes I get questions about how to deal with that loneliness in a foreign country. It happens while traveling as well. You're exhausted, you work long, you've traveled long, and you don't want to go out, but it does help to just get out, and that's basically the first thing that I tell people. For example, for expats that feel a bit lonely, that don't have any relationship or friends to hang out for the weekend, I would say get up in the morning, take a shower, do some self-reflection, get out of the house by 8, and go have breakfast in the city. You're surrounded by people. Then have a walk in the park. And you don't even necessarily have to interact with these people. Just having the noise and, other people around you will be sufficient to get you at least through the drag, through the beginning of the weekend. And you basically set the start for an active Saturday. That means you're in the city, and then after you have your breakfast, your coffee, you can tell to yourself, What am I going to do today? Will it be a nice day or another day filled with series in my small cubic apartment? And it's up to you then to make the decision to make it a memorable day, or at least a day that you lived, you were alive, and you enjoyed it. So perhaps you try something new, go to some stores, get an earring like I did a while ago. It was basically an impulse. Go to a market, go to the park, call up a friend, have another coffee, perhaps go on a date, install some dating apps. If you're courageous enough, and even if you're not, try to meet up with someone in the street maybe who catches your attention, give them a compliment and say how's it going, would you like to have a coffee, do whatever, because rejection doesn't really matter. If you get rejected, you shouldn't feel bad about yourself at all. Maybe the person just doesn't feel like it. Perhaps it's not even about you, so try that. But the thing is that you need to get out there, get out of the house, and that's the first thing, because people stuck with problems that are not too serious or not really life-changing problems. People can feel like they get stuck in them, and they get worse and worse the longer you stay inside the house and the longer you stay alone, because your mind kind of feels closed off if you're inside, and then you don't have the space around you to clear your head, and you keep stuck in the same rut of thought, and it doesn't help you at all. And you already notice, if the first thing you do is take a walk outside in the park, have the trees around you, breathe the clean air, just that will change your perspective. And you'll start to get a new look on your problem. Perhaps you'll even forget about it for a while. No need to try to push it away. If it stays, it stays. If it lingers, that's fine. If it goes away, it might come back, and that's also fine. But the space around you, the place for new thoughts, for new interactions, who knows what will happen. Basically, I've also told people that get outside of the house by 8, go get your coffee, go to the park, and after that they already said, hey, I feel a lot better. I went to the gym later. It set the start for a really good weekend. I bought some fresh flowers in my home, went for a run, I cooked myself a good meal, I took the train to there and there, went for a walk in the forest. Set the first step, and the first step is basically get out, surround yourself with whoever you love, whatever you love. But the first thing is to do something. Don't watch the TV. You need to get out and maybe cut it out altogether. Perhaps going out alone at night time might make you a bit more anxious, but that's fine as well. You can try that, but it doesn't need to be your first step, because a lot of people are afraid to do so, and to be seen as being alone, which is also a problem a lot of people face. They don't want to be seen sitting in a restaurant alone. But that's fine as well, because you need to realize that most people think about themselves all the time. Because if you're sitting in a restaurant alone, you're thinking about yourself. How do people look at me? But the other persons, they probably don't even notice you, because they'll be thinking, how do other people see me? How does my date see me? What's the next funny joke I'm going to tell my date? They're thinking about whole other things. Maybe they see you sitting, and perhaps the best or the worst thing they think is, oh, he's alone. Well, back to my own thoughts. Or they think, well, that's courageous that he's alone. Back to my own thoughts. People don't really think about you, and probably don't even care that you're alive. So even though that might not feel very nice, it's also liberating, because you can do whatever you want, and it gives you the liberty to at least realize that you can do stuff without people judging you. And even if they judge you, negatively, it doesn't matter, because it's all about you in the end. And you must make your life work in another country, or even in your own country. But you're more prone to being alone and lonely in a foreign place. I've had to deal with it often, and I'm good with it. It doesn't bother me at all. But the secret is to stay active and get outside. That's basically all you need to do. And for more serious problems, that might not really work. But even then, it could be a first step, because if you haven't tried this, why would you go to the next step if something that lies in front of you hasn't been tried yet? So take it easy, try something, and you'll see what happens. But keep yourself busy, stay active, enjoy life as much as you can, just as I am doing here in the beautiful city park. And then I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.